Let's dive into it, Boulder.
But I want these guys to take it to another level because you deserve that.
3 weeks into fall camp. Now start looking at some of these positions because next week, yes, coming up, week 0 starts. The following week, the Buffs play against Georgia Tech at the crib. There at Folsom Field, so I know y'all are stoked and excited. So we're going to continue our series and our room review. Time to look at the linebackers. Then we'll wrap up with defensive line, and we'll get all through the offense. And then we'll go through and talk about the opponents for the entire season, especially in the Big 12, because that's going to be a big deal to go through. So let's dive into all that here on the Prime Time for College Football. Thank y'all for pulling up. Your boy Jay. The podcast itself will begin starting next week. We're going to go in twice a week. We'll do game reviews. We'll wrap up, and then we'll talk about the upcoming games and all the stuff that's going on. So keep your eyes open for the Prime Time for College Football podcast. So we'll get this into podcast form on top of us doing the short videos to help you all. So with that being said, linebacker room to me is one of the rooms that has a lot of opportunity in surprising the fans. They got a lot of opportunity to shock the Big 12 because if there's one thing I noticed, this room is probably the most veteran out there. And it is full of O-heads, which is always good. Heavy snap counts. So that means that you've got players that got experience. And that's what Prime wants. He wants a room. He wants his roster to be full of veterans. And to me, that leads to a lot more success. And I think they'll outdo what the prediction are for the team. So let's take a look at that room real quick. When you dive into it, it just opens up right here. You've got Martavius French, the transfer that came in. He comes in with 1,200 snaps. Sean Myers, 1,182 snaps on the interior. Jeremiah Brown, 547 career snaps. And then Reginald Hughes also brings that in. And when me and Dukes was talking about it here on the channel recently, the big question was, who's going to be rocking the dot? And preliminary depth chart predictions feels like it's going to be Martavius French probably leading the way at the middle, with your will being probably Hughes. Reginald Hughes coming in and taking that spot, because, with Bentley being gone, you got a lot of changes that you have to make at that linebacker spot. But the good thing is with the way the defense is ran, Preston Hodge being the nickel most likely at starter, you'll probably only see 2 linebackers out there at the time. So it feels like it's probably going to be Hughes and French, but I don't know. I say that because I do like the snap counts are returning. In 2024, you saw heavy snaps for French as well as Hughes. So when you look at this, you've got 2 freshmen, a sophomore, junior, seniors, and grads, right? 4 of them are grads or seniors. So basically all seniors are super seniors. And then you've got yourself, the junior with Bo, and then sophomore and Kylan Salter, in which if there's a young player, there's 2 young players I'd say to keep your eyes on finding ways and finding their way on the field. I think it's going to be Kylan Salter, Caden's little brother. Because when I looked at him, I didn't realize he was that dang big. 6'2", 2.25 is what they've got him listed on the site. I think he's bigger than that because he looked huge. Him or Mantrez Walker, the true freshman coming in. I like Walker's game. I liked him as a freshman. I'm dropping a video on him committing. I think that he's one that's going to be a big-time shock for this team. And in the predictions and stuff, that's kind of the one thing I've seen from a lot of the veteran analyzers out there talking about the Buffs has been, in their mindset, the big thing for the Buffs is they've got a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the ball. And by having so many veterans, that helps with performance on the field. So practices are more intense because guys know what to do, right? They know how to work and be good and be prepared for this. You've got opportunities for them to make slight mistakes because there's always going to be someone there to help with cleaning it up because you've got a lot of veterans. Secondary, your secondary is very heavy on the veteran side. Majority of the players being here before and playing here at least in one season. That's huge. I've been in, of course, adding some additional safeties, veteran safeties as well, redshirt sophomores and redshirt and juniors as transfers. That helps. And so to me, when I look at it, man, I think that French is going to probably be one of your top dudes. He put up some good numbers, right? Last year. And then again, 600 and over half his snaps coming last season. And then him playing a few more snaps before that. All that does is put him in a situation where he's going to have an opportunity to be very, very successful. So I like the transfers. I like the pickups. To me, this linebacker room is going to be a fun one to watch. Let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts on the linebacker room, the depth. How do you feel about the team, the players? Who do you think really steps out? Because, again, when I look at this roster, look at these players, honestly, the one that I feel like is going to probably be the player that jumps out and shocks everybody the most is going to be Walker. I think that he, as a true freshman, is going to work his way into getting some snaps. I think him and Salters are the two that will find a way to jump in and get more snaps than people anticipate. You get Salter out there and he's out there really good in space, dog, he could be something, He spent time at TCU, so he's played in the conference. He understands what to do. He understands the work. Walker came in, and his mindset is 6'2", 2.25. He's already at the size you want. And the cool thing too with the Buffs is they're getting thicker there at the linebacker spot. But that defensive line and O-line, man, can't wait to talk about them because when I looked at the numbers on them, geez Louise, they got some big move-foos down there. Get excited about that, Buffs fans. You have a reason to be excited. And so for Prime and Coach Livingston, the biggest things for them is maintaining that top 40 defense next season. And the good thing is because there's so many veterans, there's a very good chance that can easily be achieved. If they maintain that dog, because everything starts at the defensive line on that front four. And when we break that down next, y'all have a reason to lose your flipping mind. So let me know what y'all think in the comments below. All right, next up, defensive line, like I mentioned. Talk about some of these good players, and we'll mention a freshman that we think can make some waves a lot earlier than anticipated. So y'all should have reasons to be excited. But the Buffs did a really good job in the portal at linebacker. Really good job. Brought in some really good talent that should be able to maintain that top 40 defense from last year. If they do it, y'all going to be happy. So hit the like, subscribe, bell notification so you don't miss the next video. And we'll make sure to drop. The defense will be done tomorrow. And then we'll go right into the offense all next week, heading up to the quarterback position. So we'll chop it up with each and every one of y'all in a little bit.